All right, students, we're going to give you an overview of the EdTPA process from my interpretation of it, so that maybe this will help us in terms of clarifying our assignments and the instruction that we're even delivering today and how it correlates to it. So it's very similar from what we've been doing. So this should be pretty straightforward. And what is the EdTPA process itself? What they're trying to do is they're trying to provide assessments at a state and a national level that gives you the opportunity to develop products so that we can determine if you have all the required understandings and skill sets to become effective teachers in the classroom. And that's basically what they're saying here. This assessment calls for teacher candidates to demonstrate they have necessary skills. So we need evidence to determine if that's going on, and not just the problem in the past has been we will give you tests, but we can't really authenticate the skill level necessarily to deliver content in the classroom setting. So that's what EdTPA is trying to do. And you'll notice that on this portal page from the first link that I sent last week, notice how the student learning is set. And isn't it ironic that if you look at this in terms of the instruction, assessment, and curriculum, that I do the CIA plan, this is very similar. The planning component is the curriculum component that we focus on in my classroom. But in the case of EdTPA, planning means to build a content understanding, right? So the students understand what there is to know. And so we want to make sure that we support the learning opportunities in the classroom. So when we're talking about that's what they're looking for. It's in the planning stages. Now, when I'm giving my instruction today, we're talking about curriculum. We're looking at the technology component to make sure that we have the best plan. Okay, and that's going to continuously be updated because of the tools that we're using. And in the instruction part here, right? Well, that's the learning environment which you're in. You got to be aware of where you are in the process, in the relationship with the student. So how you deliver it. So that's why we're getting you to record it. And that's pretty much a straightforward reason why we're doing this is you need to hear and see what you're doing so that you can self-evaluate just as much as we're trying to send it off and do the EdTPA component. But this is a valuable tool to let you know if you have any tendencies that you need to correct. And finally, the assessment part. Well, the assessment is the evaluation process to determine what's working and what's not for the learner. So this is the best way for us to provide clarity in what you probably need to focus on as a learner, because you are technically the student until you become the teacher. So that is basically the CIA process in the EdTPA. It's slightly worded differently, but for the most part, if you look at it, this concept, this is what we're trying to do with the EdTPA component.